Hey there, in this video I'm going to be showing you what sold on eBay this week. It was a huge week, the biggest week I've had since I started doing these videos, so I'm so excited to jump in and show you all the items that sold this week.
Hi, I'm Lee, and I'm the founder of ListingToFreedom.com. I've made over 70,000 flipping items on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, and I'm ready to teach you how to make money flipping thrift finds.
All right, so I'm ready to get started. I have everything pulled up on my computer, ready to go. We'll jump in and show you all the items that sold, plus I have a good dozen or so items that we're gonna go through more and talk about in depth. A couple of those items sold for $60. So super exciting. I had over, spoiler alert, $1,400 in sales just on eBay. So if you'd like to learn more about how to make money like this, I basically sell just clothes, nothing fancy. If you'd like to learn about flipping clothes and other items, make sure that you get signed up for my free course called Reseller Bootcamp. It's a 5-day course delivered straight to your inbox, and in it I give you tips on selling not only on eBay but all the other reselling platforms out there as well. So let's go ahead and jump on over to my computer and we'll get started. All right, so I'm over here at my computer. This is my eBay account that you're looking at. I get a lot of people asking me, hey, can I follow you on eBay? What's your account name? You'll find that right here. And then what we're specifically going to look at is the sales graph here, the last 7 days. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the 7 days here, if you notice, this says 1174. It was actually more than that because this counts today, which I don't have any sales yet today because I'm filming this video bright and early in the morning. So as you can see, these sales were huge this week. This was, let me see, this was Friday going into the 3-day holiday weekend, the Labor Day weekend here in the US. And sometimes these holidays can be a little bit slow in sales. I know 4th of July was, Christmas, of course, even Election Day was super slow. But Labor Day, I had the opposite experience with, and I actually had tons of sales over the weekend. I did have one slow day. This was in last week's video, this Wednesday of only $41, and I kind of attributed that to people getting ready to leave for the holiday weekend. So there was that little bit slower day. But the days that we're looking at, Friday, $212, Saturday, $286, Sunday, $138, Monday, $257. Huge days. I came back, I can't remember even how many items I shipped. I think I shipped 30 items on Tuesday. That was the first day after the weekend that the post office was picking up mail again. So 30 items went out that day. It does sound like a lot if you're not used to shipping that much. It actually only took me about 45 minutes. I timed myself so I could tell you accurately. 45 minutes to pull my inventory, to get it bagged up, to get it labeled, to print my labels, everything ready to go. So about 45 minutes for those 30 items. All right, and then this week has continued to do well as well. So 150, 194, and 147 yesterday. So I'm hopeful that more sales will come in today. I did have an ongoing sale for the last, probably 35 days that ended on September 9th, which was yesterday. I did restart that again yesterday afternoon. And so I would expect those sales to continue today and into the weekend. All right, so let's jump on over to the orders tab. So this is where you go to see this. This is orders. And then I have this set up to show all orders that's, has been paid for, has been shipped, everything. So these are all my orders. And then I've gone in and you can select down here custom dates. And so I put in the specific dates that we're looking at. And then you can see here, there were 57 items that sold during this time period, and the gross sales of those are $1,413. So let's see, let me grab my calculator here. So I have 1413, we'll say, and then divided by 57 items, that'll get you your average sale price per item. So I'm looking at almost $25 average sale price. Now this does include the shipping, it includes, I believe, the sales tax. So this is not for sure what I make. I wish I could make $25 an item. I just don't have those types of items around me because I don't live in a big city. And if that's your case, don't worry, there are things out there that you can sell. So I'm going to scroll through this just so you can kind of see what's sold. A lot of my items are in that $10 to $15 range. I do have about a dozen or so tabs pulled up already on my computer, and we're going to go through some of these items more in depth. So quite a bit, did sell a little bag, but mostly all clothes this week. So let's go ahead and jump on over, and I'll show you the dozen or so items that I have pulled up for you for us to talk about. All right, so the first item is a t-shirt. This is a men's t-shirt that sold for $20. Now it did have a flaw. It probably would have sold for $40 without this flaw. I had never ever heard of this brand before. Let me see if I can get the tag there in the neck. It's a brand that's called Snow Peak. Never heard of it. When I picked this item up, super thick material, super well constructed, and then I see the Japan there, the US. So I'm guessing it's maybe a Japanese brand. So I looked up comps on this, and yes, this brand, just the t-shirts in this brand are selling for around $40. However, let me show you the flaw here. It has this little pocket tee on the front, and that button was broken in half almost. So I don't think the pockets, stays snapped with a button like that. So I accepted an offer on this for $20, which I was pretty happy about it being, just a basic t-shirt. All right, next item is a Lane Bryant jacket. I've had this one for a while. Let me see when I listed it. So I listed it July 6th. So that puts me at July, August, September, puts me at 2 months to sell this one. And then this is a sweater, and it's by a brand called Erin Crafts. If you have not seen this before, I love this brand. They can take a little bit longer to sell, so that's what the tag looks like here. Erin Crafts, it is made in Ireland. Every item that I've seen is 100% merino wool. I'm not sure if they have other materials that they use, but that's what they're known for. So this one, let me just double check on this. So I accepted an offer on this one for $30. Same thing, I listed it July 6th, so I'm looking at 2 months to sell. Next is a Nike women's pullover shirt. This looks like a pretty basic shirt. Most people would just pass this by. I did go ahead and grab it because I love Nike, especially the bigger sizes, and it does have the thumb holes, which I think is always a plus. So, and then it's the Nike running. So $16.99 was the full price that it sold for. And let me see, this one sold in just a couple of days, less than a week. All right, this is another one that took a couple months to sell, but it's that time of season when jackets and coats and all of that fall gear is selling. So this is University of Washington Huskies. Not a Huskies fan, but I will sell their jackets. And it did sell for the full sale price of $18. So I did have it on a 20% off sale. So 20% off there. And at 20% off, it was $18.39, and it sold for that full price. All right, more Adidas. These are some joggers. These, again, sold for the full price. I didn't have to put them on sale, and they sold within less than a week. More Adidas joggers. These are the men's, and they were a vintage 90s style. So let me show you what the emblem looks like there with the tag of the bad tag picture blurry there. This sold for the $18.99 plus shipping. So that one took almost 2 months to sell. All right, this is a brand, St. John's Bay. I would never put on a BOLO list. I would probably never find it on anybody else's BOLO list, right? Let me show you yes. So this St. John's Bay. I can't remember where this is sold, but yes, it's not one to be, so you can see original price there, $28. It's not one that you would think of as, oh, I gotta find this brand. But that being said, when I came across this and saw that A, it was new with the tags, and B, it's this certain tiered style. You can kind of see here there's three different tiers to that skirt. And it's the crinkle material, long, modest, all of those things that checks the list for these type of skirts that seem to sell really well. This was a good choice. I'm glad that I got this because it sold for the $24.99, and it took right around a month for this to sell. All right, next up is a Harley men's button-up shirt. This is not a jacket. This is just a basic like button-up shirt. This one sold for the full asking price, and that's what the front looks like, but the back is really awesome. And that's what this looks like on the back. And it sold for the $32.99 plus shipping. It did help, I believe, that it was a 2XL. All right, and just to double check how long this took to sell, it was just over a month. All right, next up is this vintage hoodie, and it's by a brand that's called Rip and Dip. If you haven't seen this one before, they mostly have men's items, at least as far as I can tell, and I have sold a men's item before. This one, pretty obvious, this is a women's. So I wasn't sure how the women's would sell. I did look up comps for it. They didn't seem to be selling particularly well, but given the colors and the color block and the pastels, I decided to go ahead and get this. And I listed it, well, it sold in less than a week. So I did accept an offer of $15 for it just because I wasn't sure if I would get something better. And this is what what it looks like close up. Let me see if I can grab the sleeve for you. The sleeve has, so right there you'll see the Rip and Dip, so Rip and Dip. This one did not have a tag on the inside, but normally you would see a tag on the inside that says Rip and Dip. All right, next up is another vintage item. This is another brand I would never put on a BOLO list. This is Jones, New York. Now, I know you've seen this before. I want to say it's maybe from Macy's. Not a brand I would ever tell you to go and buy, except when I came across this, the coloring of it, the turtleneck, just that vibe of like Y2K, 90s, early 2000s. I knew this would be a really good seller, and it actually sold super fast. So let's check the date on this. I listed it September 3, so right about a week, a little under a week for this one to sell, and it did sell for the full price of $22.99. All right, next up, I have a pair of Can jeans. If you've watched any of these What Sold videos before, you may have seen this one. I did get a return on it. The person literally said, "I'm too fat." Made me laugh, but anytime it's a return for the size, the buyer does pay that return shipping, so it doesn't cost me anything. I just have to hit the relist button, or refund and relist button when I get it back. Now, I wasn't sure how quickly it would sell again, but it did sell like almost as soon as I listed it, just within the next couple days after getting it back and relisting it. And it did sell for the same price that it sold for before, which was the full asking price of $24.99 plus shipping. All right, next up is this huge dress. Forgive me on the picture. This is a terrible picture. This is an example of how not to do a picture, but this item was so big. It was a 6X. It barely, it fit on my backdrop, but it was hard to get a good picture of, given the size. It's a brand that is called Silhouettes. Again, on these type of dress items, I would forget even looking at the brand. The brand on these really does not matter. It's all about the style with these long dresses. This button up, you can see how it has all the buttons down the front. These are actually snaps. That style is doing super well right now. Given that style and given the size of a 6X, that's why it sold for this $36.99. So super excited about that sale. And it took about 2 weeks to sell. All right, so another couple items. Actually, let me jump on over because there was one other item I don't have pulled up here, and it's these shoes, because I want to talk for a minute about these shoes and actually look at them myself. So I found these shoes. I don't often do shoes. I was hoping to get much more for them. So I was hoping to get, maybe 50. I listed them for 90. I wasn't sure. And it's this brand called MBT. It did take a very long time for them to sell, and they sold on sale for $16. So it was not a huge sale. However, what I want to take a look at is when I listed them. So this is one of my older items. This was listed over a year ago. So a year and 3 months, three or 4 months is what I'm looking at for these to sell, but they did finally sell. So that was super exciting. It's exciting to get rid of those old things that don't tend to be moving fast. If you have those, try putting them on sale. But sometimes it just gets to a point where you have to say, okay, I'm ready to let this go. All right, last couple of items. These are my biggest sales of the week. These were 2 items that sold for, this one was almost $60, the other one was $60, so we'll get to that in a second. This is a Lululemon Stride Jacket 2, and the color was Bordeaux. So it's kind of like this wine color. The pictures didn't turn out super great, but I did get a message from the buyer yesterday that said this looks awesome in person. So if you're not sure on the style name, like I was able to find this as a Stride 2 jacket, head on over to the website that is called lululemonfanatics.com, and I just went in there and put in some certain search terms. I put in, a hooded jacket, thumb holes, and I tried to find the item that was looked like this, found it, and I was able to not only get the name of it, but also the color name Bordeaux. All right, so this is this item here, and it sold, it was on sale. I had listed it for $72.99, and then it sold for 20% off at the $58.39. All right, the other one that sold for $60 was another Lululemon, and this is a Define jacket. Again, I went to Lulu Fanatics to find that style name because I don't know any of the Lululemon style names. And this, I accepted an offer. I had listed it for $62.99 and accepted an offer for $60, and I believe it sold the next day. Let me tell you a little bit more about this jacket. It was a return. The person got it and told me that it smelled, and I had them try and wash it. I told them, use some vinegar. They did that, and they said it still smelled, and they asked if they could return it. So I did pay for a return for this item. I got it back. I finally got around to relisting it. I smelled it. I don't smell anything. I asked everybody else in my household if they smelled anything. They said they smelled soap. My daughter said she smelled clothes. Like, you don't smell the body odor is what the person had said it was. So I'm not sure if they seem to be authentic. It didn't seem like they were trying to get a free return. Anyways, it did sell again. I would be really surprised if anybody else said this smelled. It is going to Germany, and it did sell for the full $60, or almost full asking price. So those were my biggest sales for this week. That's how I had $1,413 in sales this week as a part-time reseller. I'd love to know, what was your biggest sale this week? Leave a comment below and let me know. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give me the thumbs up and like this video. It really helps me. Also, subscribe to my channel, click that bell, let me know that you'd like for me to make more videos like this. That really helps out my channel and helps me know that these videos are helpful to you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video soon.